There is a silence that comes not from the absence of noise, but from the absence of hope. A heavy, suffocating quiet that settles in the chest when you wake up in the morning and realize you do not know where you are going, or perhaps worse, you do not know who you are anymore. It is the feeling of floating in the middle of a vast, dark ocean, treading water with limbs that have grown tired, looking at a horizon that offers no land, no signal, no direction. You look at your life, the routine, the relationships, the reflection in the mirror, and it feels foreign, as if you are acting out a script written by a stranger, reciting lines that have no meaning, walking a path that leads nowhere. You feel behind. You feel as though everyone else has been handed a map, a secret set of instructions on how to be happy, how to be successful, how to be alive, and you were somehow skipped over, left to wander through the fog without a compass. This is not just sadness, it is a profound dislocation of the soul, a feeling that the world is moving too fast and you are standing still, or that you are running at full speed but sinking deeper into the sand. You ask yourself if you made the wrong choices, if you wasted your potential, if the best years are already behind you, leaving only a future of mediocrity and regret. You carry the weight of expectations, those placed on you by parents, by society, by the curated lives of others you see on screens, and that weight crushes the breath out of you until you are just surviving, just getting through the day, waiting for a permission slip to finally start living. But listen closely, for this is not a condemnation of your character, nor is it a sign of your failure. This feeling of being lost is the most human experience you can have, and it is the first necessary step toward finding something true. If you feel lost, it means the old maps you were given no longer work, and that is a good thing, because those maps were never yours to begin with. You are standing at the threshold of a great realization, one that the ancient Stoics understood deeply as they walked the marble halls of Rome and the rough streets of Greece. They knew that confusion is the sweat of a mind trying to break a fever, that the darkness is simply the womb of a new wisdom waiting to be born. Imagine for a moment that you are not falling, but that you have simply let go of a ledge you were never meant to hold on to. The terror you feel is the wind rushing past you, but soon, if you listen, you will realize you have the capacity to fly, or at least to land on ground that is solid, ground that is made of your own character and not the shifting sands of external validation. To find your way, you must first stop looking outside yourself for the light. We live in an age that demands we look outward, at what others own, at who others are with, at the titles and accolades they accumulate, and in doing so, we starve our own inner fire. The great Stoic emperors and slaves alike taught that the source of our distress is not the world itself, but our judgment of the world. You feel lost because you have pinned your happiness to things you cannot control, the opinions of others, the outcome of your career, the accumulation of wealth, the affection of people who may leave. You have built your house on the edge of a volcano and wonder why the ground shakes. The first step back to yourself is to withdraw your energy from the things that do not belong to you. Imagine your attention is like water. Right now, it is spilling out through 1,000 cracks, watering the weeds of envy, anxiety, and regret. You must seal the cracks. You must call your spirit back home. You must realize that while you cannot control the winds of fate, the economy, or the actions of others, you have absolute, terrifying, godlike control over your own mind, your own choices, and your own perspective. This is the fortress, this is the citadel, and the gate is open, waiting for you to return. Think of a ship in a violent storm. The captain does not scream at the waves to stop crashing. He does not weep because the wind is blowing from the north when he wishes to go south. To do so would be madness. Instead, he looks at the sails. He grips the rudder. He focuses entirely on what is within his grasp. You are that captain, but you have been screaming at the waves. You have been crying over the weather. It is time to look at the rudder. The rudder is your reasoned choice in this very moment. It does not matter if the storm has blown you off course for 10 years. The ocean does not care about your past, and neither does your future. All that exists is the ship and the hand on the wheel right now. If you feel lost, it is because you are living in a time that does not exist. You are mourning a past you cannot change, or fearing a future you cannot predict. The Stoics whisper to us across the centuries, bring your mind back to the present, just this moment. Can you bear this moment? Can you handle the next breath? Of course you can. It is only when you pile up 1,000 imaginary tomorrows on top of today that the burden becomes impossible to lift. Consider the metaphor of the fire. A fire does not complain when you throw a log onto it. It does not say, this wood is too heavy, this branch is too wet. No, the fire consumes everything. It turns the heavy wood into heat. It turns the wet branch into light. It uses the obstacle to become brighter, hotter, stronger. Your feeling of being lost, your anxiety, your confusion, this is the fuel. Do not wish it away. Do not wish for an easier life. Wish for a stronger fire. Take the rejection you faced, take the failure that haunts you, take the loneliness that visits you at night, and throw it into the fire of your character. Say to yourself, this too is material for me to work with. When you stop fighting your reality and start using it, the feeling of being lost evaporates, because a man or woman who can turn anything into advantage is never truly lost. They are merely in a different part of the workshop. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the alchemist of them. This shift in perspective is subtle, but it changes everything. It turns the prison cell of your confusion into a vast open field of possibility. Let us speak of the fear that paralyzes you, the fear that you are running out of time. You look at the calendar and feel a panic rising, a sense that the sand in the hourglass is slipping through your fingers faster than you can catch it. Seneca, a man who faced exile and death with a steady pulse, reminded us that life is not short. We simply waste a lot of it. We waste it on petty arguments, on mindless distractions, on worrying about things that will never happen, on trying to impress people we do not even like. You feel lost because you are spending your currency of time on goods that rot. To find your way is to become ruthless with your time. It is to realize that death is not a tragedy waiting at the end of the road. Death is with us right now. Every second that ticks by is a second that death has claimed. This should not scare you. It should wake you up. It should strip away the non-essential. If you knew, truly knew, that this day could be your last, would you worry about whether you are successful enough in the eyes of your neighbors? Would you stress about the career path you didn't take 5 years ago? No. You would look at the sky, you would taste your food, you would hug your loved ones, you would do your work with dignity and focus. You would be found instantly because you would be anchored in the reality of your mortality.
It is also likely that you feel lost because you are comparing your behind-the-scenes reality with everyone else's highlight reel. You see their smiles, their vacations, their achievements, and you assume they have figured it out. But this is an illusion, a play of shadows on the wall of a cave. Every human being carries a burden you cannot see. Every soul is fighting a hard battle. The CEO is riddled with anxiety. The influencer is lonely. The couple that seems perfect is struggling to communicate. Do not envy the facade. Focus on your own interior. The Stoics teach us that true wealth is not having many things, but having few wants. If you can learn to be content with a simple life, with a clear conscience, with the strength of your own reason, you become invincible. You become a king without a crown, a master of a domain that no one can invade. When you stop needing the world to applaud you, you are free to simply be. And in that being, the fog lifts. You realize you don't need a destination to be worthy. Your worth is not a destination, it is a manner of traveling. Perhaps you feel directionless because you are waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration, a calling that will descend from the heavens and tell you exactly what to do. You are waiting for passion to strike. But the Stoics would tell you that passion is not the starting line, it is the result of action. Purpose is not something you find under a rock, it is something you build, brick by brick, through right action. Do not wait to feel like doing the right thing. Do the right thing and the feeling will follow. Start small, very small. Make your bed with precision. Treat the barista with kindness. Read one page of a book that challenges you. Go for a walk and observe the trees, how they stand firm through winter, stripping themselves of leaves to survive the cold, trusting that spring will return. Be like the tree. Shed the dead weight of your past identities. Endure the winter of your confusion with patience. Growth is often silent and slow. You are not stagnant, you are rooting. You are building the foundation for a structure that needs to be high and strong, and high structures require deep, dark digging before they can rise. There is a profound peace in accepting that you are a tiny part of a massive living cosmos. Look at the stars at night. They have been burning for billions of years, witnessing empires rise and fall, witnessing the birth and death of everything that has ever lived. Your problems, your confusion, your timeline, they are microscopic in the grand scheme. This is not meant to make you feel insignificant, but to liberate you. It takes the crushing weight of importance off your shoulders. You are a wave in the ocean of existence. The wave rises, the wave falls, but the water remains. You are the water. Flow with nature, not against it. If life demands you rest, rest. If life demands you struggle, struggle with a full heart. Stop trying to force the river to flow upstream. The feeling of being lost often comes from a resistance to what is. You think you should be somewhere else. You think you should be married, or rich, or famous by now. That word, should, is the architect of your misery. Kill the should, embrace the is. This is where you are. This is the raw material. What can you build with it?
You must also understand the nature of adversity. You are treating the difficulties in your life as intruders, as unwanted guests that are ruining your plans. But what if the difficulties are the plan? What if the confusion is the lesson? A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. You are in the polishing phase. It hurts, it scrapes, it feels like you are being worn down, but you are being revealed. The excess stone is being chipped away to show the statue inside. When you feel the pain of being lost, thank it. It is waking you up from the slumber of a mediocre, unexamined life. It is forcing you to ask the big questions. It is driving you toward philosophy, toward wisdom, toward a strength you didn't know you had. The person who never gets lost never discovers new lands. The person who never suffers never develops depth. Wear your scars like medals. They are proof that you are in the arena, as Marcus Aurelius would acknowledge, fighting the good fight, not watching from the safety of the stands. And let us speak of loneliness, for often feeling lost is a lonely endeavor. You feel disconnected from those around you who seem to be sleepwalking through superficiality. You crave depth, but find only puddles. The Stoic response is to become your own best friend. Can you sit in a room alone and be at peace? If not, why? What are you running from? The noise of the world is designed to keep you from hearing your own thoughts, because your own thoughts are powerful. They are dangerous to a system that wants you to be a mindless consumer. Solitude is not loneliness. Solitude is the laboratory of the spirit. In the silence, you can hear the voice of reason, the daemon within guiding you. Cultivate this relationship with yourself. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and patience you would offer a lost child. You would not scream at a child who is lost in the woods. You would take their hand. You would speak softly. You would lead them out step by step. Be that guardian for yourself. As you move forward, do not look for a giant spotlight to illuminate the entire path for the next 10 years. That light does not exist. You only have a lantern that illuminates the next 3 feet. That is enough. Take one step, then another, then another. If you fall, stand up. Do not create a story about the fall. Do not say, I fell because I am weak, because I am a failure. Just say, I fell. Now I stand. Keep the narrative simple. Keep it objective. This is the discipline of ascent, seeing things exactly as they are without the emotional baggage we add to them. You are not lost in the darkness. You are simply in a place where you cannot see far, so you must rely on other senses, your intuition, your values, your principles.
Remember the heroes of the past. They were not men and women who lived easy lives. They were not people who had everything handed to them. They were people who faced exile, prison, war, betrayal, and the death of their children. They felt lost. They felt despair. But they had a secret weapon. They decided that their character was the one thing that could not be taken from them. You can lose your job, your house, your reputation, but you cannot lose your integrity unless you give it away. You cannot lose your capacity to love, to forgive, to endure, unless you surrender it. This is your kingdom. Build it strong. When the internal world is ordered, the external world can be in chaos, and you will remain unshaken. You will be like the rocky promontory against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. So, if you are sitting there in the dark, feeling the weight of the world, let this be the moment you turn. Not a physical turn, but a turning of the soul. Let out a breath. Release the tension in your jaw. Unclench your hands. Forgive yourself for not knowing. Forgive yourself for the time lost. It is gone. It is ash. But the ember remains. Blow on it. Feed it with a small action, a glass of water, a kind word, a moment of focus. You are not lost. You are simply recalibrating. You are aligning yourself with a higher order, a deeper truth. You are waking up from the dream of how life should be and entering the reality of what life is: beautiful, difficult, unpredictable, and entirely yours to shape through your response. The path is not out there. The path is made by walking, and you are ready to walk. You are stronger than you know, wiser than you give yourself credit for, and more resilient than any storm that has ever blown.
The dawn is coming, not because the sun rises, but because you are opening your eyes. Walk with us on this journey. We are all travelers here, seeking the same wisdom, fighting the same battles. If this message struck a chord in the silence of your heart, if it gave you a moment of clarity in the fog, then take a simple action. Reflect on it. Let it settle. And if you wish to continue this walk with us, to build a fortress of the mind that no anxiety can breach, subscribe to Wisdom of Stoic. Like this video to help it find others who are wandering in the dark. Share it with a friend who needs to hear that they are not alone. Let us build a community of strength, resilience, and quiet power. You are not lost. You are just beginning.